So, Dokomi. I was there as a visitor, like visitor slash helper for ein Artisto at his little booth. Um, Not like full time the entire time. Also unpaid and everything like that. I just like helped him out whenever I had some time to when I wasn't on my own mission, so to speak. I went to Dokomi with a bunch of little stickers to hand out to people. I think I showed the last stream already. Like I had those little heart stickers, and then for anyone, I specifically made it so I only gave it to people that speak German, because unfortunately it kind of, you know, like the people that don't speak German just don't understand what the fuck these are supposed to be. But I had way too many of those as well. We heard from Rosewood you did a Game Master's booth. Yeah, I'll get into that in just a second. But yeah, I brought like a bunch of little stickers to hand out to people. And yeah, I was out at Ein's booth. That was the booth in case you were there and maybe didn't see or recognize anyone there. I have out this little guy. That's not me, that's Ein. I was the less bisexual looking guy. And the less hot looking guy. But I was also not really there on Friday. Like on Friday, I spent most of the time just going on my own missions. Actually, speaking of Friday, dude, Friday, I was cooking. Like, not in a good sense. I was literally cooking. Because Friday, it was like 33 to 34 degrees Celsius. How much is it? It's like 92? I think in freedom units, 92 degrees Fahrenheit. Also, apparently, or supposedly, I have not personally seen that, but I heard a lot of people say that on Friday, a lot of people were carried out on stretchers because it was just too hot. Rookie numbers? Hang on. That might not sound a lot to, like, especially Southeast Asian countries, but it's German heat. It is humid heat. It's the kind of heat where you don't really lose the heat from sweating. Like, dude, once you start sweating, you're cooked. And I posted in the Discord what I looked like without the upper part of my face, for Friday. And I could not have chosen a word. Chosen? I could have not worn anything worse for that kind of heat with like kind of bright jeans and a black button-down dress shirt. Dude, I was just sweating. My entire back was basically just a whirlpool. It was awful. I did fine overall, but like there were a lot of people like over the entirety of Dokomi, a lot of people saying that they got headaches or migraines, either because of the heat and not drinking enough, or just specifically because the weather was like flip-flopping around the entire time. Because like Friday was stupidly hot, then it started storming in the night, then Saturday was fine. Sunday was colder randomly. Like the weather has been flip-flopping in Germany, which gives a lot of people migraines and stuff. I did carry ORS in bottle. What does ORS mean? I was basically living off of ibuprofen on Friday, not gonna lie. I admittedly also just didn't drink enough on Friday. But yeah, overall, on Friday I ran around just meeting a bunch of people. Electrolyte, nah, not really. Brother dressed so slutty. Hey. I tried to look fancy, but I could not have chosen a worse day to look fancy, not gonna lie. But yeah, Friday I ran around just meeting a bunch of people. I met Joe, the Joe2 in chat there. I met... By the way, I have a bunch of names written down, just in case. There's a high chance I missed people. That is not to say they're worth less, or that I care about them less. I just met so many people that I can't keep track of everyone. And the primary people that stuck in my head were the ones that I had like specific interactions with. I met Lesheran, another VTuber, and Riku's mod. I met Riku's husband, and I have a lot of stuff to say about Riku's husband. A lot of good things, don't worry. Dude is a literal angel on earth, I swear to God. I'll get into that in a second. I didn't meet Riku on Friday, unfortunately. She started feeling not too good at one point when I was in line for signatures. He was there, yeah. He was the guy that actually did the selling process. Lash was the guy next to him, like actually handing out the prints and stuff. Lash was the much taller guy. I met Madonberry, another artist. I met Kroko, another artist. I met Naichi, another artist. I met Alexion Chopper, who's an animator here on Twitch too. I met Joe, that Joe there in chat. I also met Yoshi or Yoklash and Kim at the Puppet Works booth. Kim by sheer accident, actually. Also, I was really surprised they both actually recognized me. I didn't even have to introduce myself, they knew who I was. Because like I've met them the years before already and introduced myself back then, and I think I have been pretty active in their communities the entire time. So they kind of figured. Kim the chat, dude, Kim, I swear to God, Kim is hot as fuck. Listen, I just joked that out of me and Ein, I'm the less bisexual guy, but dude, I can totally appreciate good-looking men. Kim looks so hot, but he's also just like maturing so fucking well. Like compared to last year, he now had like I don't know what the fuck he did with his hair, but he looked even fancier. He also had like more ear accessories and stuff like that. Like he's aging like a fine wine, I swear to God. It's actually like motivating in a sense. It's fine wearing Pride Month. True. Right. Hell yeah. Kim helped a lot during workout tips during COVID times. Momo is so friendly, it caught me off guard. I unfortunately didn't have too much time to talk to Momo. Unfortunately. Like I was there to talk to Yoklash for a bit. Just like checking up on her and stuff. And by then there was such a queue that I didn't want to like spend even more time to then talk to Momo. And then I just never got around to talking to Momo, unfortunately. Anyways. I also met Kellogg's. Hang on, I have a picture. They had a meet and greet on Friday. There, Kellogg's with Goose or Gooser. Kellogg's is the VTuber daughter of Praline. She I was there just like to say hi for Praline, because Praline didn't end up going because no booth and such. She's straight like I did not see this post. If you read at the top there, it says it's Kel's birthday. So I just went there and I was confused why the fuck she had like this humongous ass cake on the table. And like I started talking to her, blah blah. Here I'm greeting for Praline. I'm her not manager. We're not dating. It's not the VTuber meme. But I'm just like a friend of hers there to meet her in her name. And she was like, "Yeah, it's my birthday, by the way." I was like, "Oh, man." But yeah, I met her there. I met Hido Senpai, another artist, very rarely streams on Twitch as well, in the 18 plus area. And Red Mary, I don't know why I said it that weirdly. And I think that's it. I might have met someone else, as I said. I nothing against anyone I might have met and just forgotten about. Nothing against them. I just genuinely met way too many people. Hang on, what else did I do on Friday? I think that was pretty much it. I just spent all of Friday just running around trying to meet people as soon as possible. I said there was a moment she reached out hands, blah blah. What? Damn. Where do you get the Dokomi? I will show that in just a second. Yeah, sure. And just second once I'm done with all the days and such. After booth hours, honestly, this year around, like usually for me, actually I can already get into like for me, I fully anticipated that Dokumi this year round was gonna be kind of bad for me specifically, because for me, like the past years, the best part of Dokumi was after Dokumi, also Losta. Um, it's like once you're done with Dokumi itself, and like you're just done, you're out of the convention and you just go somewhere in a restaurant with your friends and like other people and you just like get to hang out and like actually decompress. Um because like from my experience that's like when people are not the most realist. It's not in that sense, but it's like being able to just hang out with like all the artists and streamers that you know from like, you know, the years that you've spent on Twitch and social media and stuff. And because like a lot of artists and such are still like pretty stressed while at Dokumi, because you're still there as like the public persona you have to play or not play. It's like when you're a content creator or a streamer or whatever, you are still genuine, but you're like the hyper real version of yourself. It's like the way I've heard Just Drive Hayes describe it very recently, where like you're the more exaggerated version of yourself, the less flawed version. That's not like a fake, but it's like you in your best, like from your best form. And then once like people are done with the Dokumi day, they don't have to worry about like making a profit and whatever. It's like when people actually become like normal, and it's fun to hang out and blah. And like this year around, most of the people that I know and are like more closely friends with weren't at Dokumi. So I was kind of anticipating it was gonna be ass. Because like I tried to arrange for like restaurant trips and stuff like that, and genuinely could not find anyone for most of the days. And then like I have fucking like 3 hour travels back and forth, so it was like I had to leave early. I couldn't even go to restaurants if I wanted to, and blah. Surprisingly, I think this was the most fun Dokumi. I get into why in just a second. Once I get to Saturday and Sunday. 3 hours, Jesus. Yeah. I am pretty sure next year's around I'm gonna try to get a hotel or an Airbnb or something like that. 3 hours is way too harsh. And that's assuming Deutsche Bahn works. That's assuming that nothing is late. I already sent on the Discord server that like I can't remember which day it was, but like I remember one day being in a Düsseldorf main train station, and then just like looking at the signs, and like some of the trains are just like 4 hours late or some shit like that. But yeah, was we were getting from Hall 10 to any Hall of Arts, isn't it? Yeah, that's Dokumi is humongous. Like my legs were hurting so much that like I yesterday, like Monday and Tuesday after Dokumi, I didn't go anywhere. I was just sitting at home relaxing. Unironically, my right foot is still slightly swollen, like from having walked and stood for so long. The train situation is crazy for us, yeah. Nah. Luckily none of my trains, but Jesus Christ, I would have crashed out if my train is 4 hours late. On top of like traveling 3 hours by itself. But yeah, anyways, so Friday just ran around, met a bunch of people, met up with Ian, of course, because like I'm technically helping at his booth. Didn't go anywhere on Friday afterwards. I just went straight home, went to bed, got up early to try and get to Dokumi early on Saturday. Maybe you can rent Airbnb for a few hours for cheaper. Yeah, that's what I'm going to look into. But, organizing that stuff with artists is kind of rough because a lot of artists are not going to go if they don't get a booth. Which makes it kind of you know, iffy, because some people will start to dip, or you have to book late, and if you book late, it's gonna be expensive, blah blah blah. I'll figure it out next year. I'm not too worried about it yet. But anyway, Saturday, I went, like, when I arrived, it was about noon. I underestimated how long it was going to take to travel with Deutsche Bahn. So I arrived at around noon, immediately went to Odobo's meet and greet, just quickly said hi to him. Um, right, actually, by saying hi, I mean I stood there, because they were like still figuring out like where to actually have the meet and greet. Well, like they separated things between the proper meet and greets, where you have like the it was the thing that I just showed, where they have dedicated places for it. There, like you can see on the right here. Let me make that bigger. There, that's hall 10. We're like on the right, in this picture on the right wall, there's like this entire area that has like little separators for different queues with tables at the end. That's like the dedicated meet and greet area. Yeah, those were the meet and greets. They were also like the most people still call them meet and greets, but they were more like fan meetings, meet and greets, whatever. Those were anywhere that the creators decided to. So like on the fly, a lot of them actually changed where those were. So it was just an informal meet and greet. It was still in the app. You could still like look it up in the app where it's supposed to be and like sign up for it, but it wasn't like with the dedicated queues. Or like at a dedicated spot, they could still like suddenly change it. So I was at Orobo's meet and greet, just stood there while they were figuring out where to go. Eventually, they decided to just stay right there, and then Oro kind of like tried to gather who's there and like who all the people standing around him were. And no, mind you, I've met Orobo like 5 years ago or something at my first or second Dokomi. He has seen me before, but he looks at the people. Or was it Dokomi? Yes. Only Saturday for his meet and greet. But mind you, like he has seen me before. Then we're in this group for the meet and greet. He looks at everyone. He suddenly points to me and is like, "Who are you?" I just gave him the finger, which sounds super rude. He was like shocked and taken aback for a second until he remembered that that was like our inside joke 5 fucking years ago. That like if we meet, we need to give each other the finger. Because that was like actually what happened 5 or so years ago, that I was helping out at Proline's booth. And then suddenly, like, this small Asian guy walks up to me and gives me the finger, and I'm like, what the fuck? It was Oro. Like, he was shocked for a second, and then, like, you could see the light switch on in his face, and he's like, Arku? He straight up didn't recognize me. To be fair, I completely changed, like, hairstyle. I have earrings now, and just in general look bigger. Fat, not fatter. But like definitely look bigger, like stature wise and everything. Dress differently and everything. But yeah, it was just funny to meet him, especially in that way. So what I did to Rise for dinner. No worse, just fuck you. Nice. Buffer arc. Yeah, I mean back then. Like back then I was like 19 or something. Wait, 20? Something like that. I was like still very young, still not like really growing into my frame. Like nowadays, now I'm 25, you know, I'm like growing into my frame properly. I'm definitely a lot wider than back then. I think I weigh like 25 or 30 more kilograms than back then. Back then I was like really underweight. Just started puberty. I'm a bit of a late bloomer. Like I am just now starting to really grow into my body, so to speak, or into my frame. Also, hello, Boot. I met Boot too. I met Boot randomly in the queue to meet Riku on Friday and at Ein's booth at some point. I think Sunday. I'm not sure. Was nice talking to you, by the way. I told you off. Yeah, yeah. And you were like, but I know, yeah, I just quickly wanted to say hi, but then I figured, nah, I'll just come back the next day. And I did come back, like, I get into that in a second. I ended up meeting Rico on Saturday and talked to her a lot more. Did you meet her? Yes, yes. I'll talk about her in just a second. Right, also at Ouroboros meet and greet, I did meet Impact. No, bear with me. I don't know his fucking Twitch name. I think it's I am no impact. I think Impact, are you here? Say something. But I met him as well there. He was actually wearing an Ourobo cosplay, which was funny to see. Talking to people sounds scary though. Yeah, right, I should have prefaced that at the very beginning. I am both shy and introverted. The only thing that I have going for me is that I am very good at masking and faking confidence. Because I spent years when I was, a teenager trying to work off the shyness. I'm pretty sure you can't get rid of being shy. It's more of a thing that you learn how to mask it. And the more you do certain things, the more confident you get in them. But the, internal shyness doesn't fucking disappear. I refuse to believe anyone that says they turn from an introvert to an extrovert unless they've gone through some kind of spiritual intervention. Well, yeah. Anyways, let me see. Do I have... I don't have a picture really for Saturday. Let me go back to Einswurf there. There. I'm so shy talking to this many people would kill me. It did. I'm not saying that I didn't die. Dude, by the end of Sunday, I unironically was starting to disassociate. I was just a little out of it. I noticed a lot of people have that though. Yeah, I'll get into that exactly in a second, because Sunday was also probably the most emotionally, socially taxing day for me. I almost did a Hi, I'm Giorgio Byron run. Honestly, totally fair. Demasking is exhausting, yeah. But yeah, anyway, Saturday, Ouroboros meet and greet. Said hi to him, hung out a little bit. Right after that was Roseworth meet and greet though. We only chill. Oh, inner booty man was always sent off the convo. But right after Ouroboros meet and greet was Roseworth meet and greet, right next to him, actually, just outside. I went there, very briefly checked up on Rose at the very beginning, just because Rose, I know, has like issues with large groups of people and such. So I just like briefly checked in with her, kind of nudged into the line. Thank God that Red Mary. I keep wanting to say Red Marie now. I don't know. Yeah, Red Marie. Mary? Red Mary. Jesus Christ. Was there, so I managed to like sneak into the queue to just quickly check up on Roswell, and I handed her the stickers at the top. And I talked about last stream. I only intended to order just a couple as like a little joke for her. Just like hand out to some people. Yeah, and then I ordered through Wir machen Druck online, where you don't like type in a quantity of stickers you want, but you select it in a drop-down menu. And selecting more stickers barely costs anything more. So like, I didn't notice while ordering that I accidentally selected the wrong drop-down menu option. And instead of 25 stickers, ordered 50. Then once they arrived, by mail, they sent me almost double, just in case. That's apparently normal for them. They just sent you a lot more, in case any of them have scratches they didn't catch. So I had like between 80 and 90 of these Bernd das Boot Rosewell stickers to hand her. Gave them to her immediately so she could hand them out at the meet and greet. And she said the reactions were incredible because everyone that's German, like, loved them. Because it's just such a dumb little silly thing to even have or think of. While everyone that isn't German or like has never seen that thing before. It's just like, what the fuck is this? Maybe for those that don't know, it's like a very old German thing where it's like a nihilistic, cynical, depressed loaf of bread that was used on like children's television station at night to discourage children from watching TV. And it would just be like a half-hour loop or something of it being stuck in the TV, so to speak. It's just like a super specific thing that like it's just stupid. That's like the best way to describe it. It's a German national treasure, yeah. I hope she liked them. She loved them, especially like seeing the reactions by people, because as I said, like non-Germans are just like, what the fuck is that? But yeah. Anyways, I then got into line, talked with her and Cody a little bit, just made sure they were doing well, because as I said, Rosie is really not that good with like large groups of people. Was pretty worried about getting overwhelmed at Dokomi. She did surprisingly well though. She's a queen of masking. Now, jokes aside, they like really knew how to take care of her afterwards. We're only there on Saturday too. They walked around afterwards with like headphones and stuff to make sure it's not too loud and all that kind of jazz. Which is also super smart for people that have like a sensory overload issues. And that's when you have a whole table between you and them. Yeah. Also, dude, the best part is they didn't do that intentionally, but I thought they did that intentionally, but they didn't actually. Their meet and greet, like the informal meet and greet, was outside, but it was like specifically underneath a shade where they had a table. But they specifically chose the table under the shade, where it's like the furthest, like to the edge of the shade. So they were sitting in the dark, shaded, while everyone that was talking to them on the opposite end of the table was standing in the sun. And I thought they did that on purpose, but I actually like, it was by pure accident. But if you stand there at the front, you are still in the sun, in the beaming, scorching ass sun, which made it so uncomfortable to stand there for too long that basically everyone, like, naturally kind of hurried a bit to not spend too much time there. I thought that was super smart. It wasn't intentional. Man. Wasn't even Luke to be age. I remember having watched it so for hours some days and never repeated. Yeah, at some point, or like as time went on, they did have more and more of the bits. I remember too that like at the beginning it was like pretty looping, but then at the end there were like hours of footage that didn't loop. Until you meet that one person who lost the sun doesn't get social cues. Fair. There were a couple of people like that. But that's like normal at any meet and greet. Sorry, actually, now that we're talking about it, I know people love seeing their Oshis and like their inspirations and stuff in person or whatever. But that one person at Diariku's booth that decided to bring the entire V-card folder and individually have every single V-card signed by Diariku. What is wrong with you? Like, my guy. Like, generally not too upset or anything about it, but man, please don't do that if you go to convention. Having some things to sign is fine. How many cards was it in total? I don't remember. I just remember that like that was the longest person in the entire queue that I've ever seen in general. Like, I personally spent like 2 minutes maybe at most. There, I felt like I was just standing in one spot for like 15 minutes or something. I felt bad having to sign my 3 prints. Yeah, yeah. That was me, yo. Dictum. Since when do you have a neckbeard? Anyways. Nah. Yeah, I like genuinely not too upset about it. It was just kind of like, oh man. You know, there's like this entire long ass queue that's like looping around Riku's booth all the way to the booth behind her. And then there's just like people fucking talking for like a quarter of an hour, asking every V card to be signed. Like, man, moderation, please. But I mean, that stuff is normal. It happens quite often. Um, the other booth must have hated her. No, they seemed pretty chill about it. They just made sure that there was like enough distance to their booth from the queue. Not only do you need to be good at speaking to 1,000 people, but you also have to manage weird people to come to booth. Yeah. Yeah, there was actually a bit of drama with like some booths that there were some actual very unpleasant people there. I'll get into that at the end. I've heard some very interesting stories about some, let's say, delinquents. But yeah, I imagine that it's just exhausting, honestly. That's why I think a lot of booths do have like a unspoken kind of 5-minute rule, where like after 5 minutes, the mods or the helpers will like kind of nudge people along for them to just disappear. Because yeah, otherwise there's just not enough time for meeting all of your fans and such. Like for example, there was also the issue why I didn't end up meeting Cottontail or Silvervale or Mikabugi. Like they're all VTubers, so they had their own meet and greets. And I remember that like with Cottontail's meet and greet on Friday, I walked past there right as the meet and greet started. Dude, the queue was so disgustingly long that I was just like, nah, I'm fine. If I want her attention, I'll draw her or something. I don't want to stand in line for like 2 hours. I didn't even have time to stand in line for 2 hours. Never mind if you think about like, there was like the genuine risk that, you know, if you get in queue for a meet and greet like that, because they're like time gated, like the actual meet and greets at the tables, not the informal ones. They're only for like 2 hours approximately. I think most of them. If some people just decide to spend way too much time, then that's just it. Like there's an actual risk you might not get to talk to them. The meet and greet is over. They leave. Done. You never got to talk to your Oshi and stuff. Apparently people overseeing Cotton's booth were assholes. I haven't done anything like that. I mean, were they assholes to like get people moving or? Because like I can imagine with how fucking popular Cottontail is that they maybe had like a 1 minute thing, and then at some point their patience just kind of runs out, and they have to be a bit more pushy with getting people to move. But yeah, drawing the OC with a nice ass does get their attention. Oi, oi, oi! I'm feeling caught out. But yeah. Anyways, Rose was being greet. Yeah, right after that, right, I met Riku. So like right after Rose was being greet, I went to Riku. Like Riku's booth was like set up in a way where you could, on one side, buy prints and stuff from Lesh and Riku's husband. And then on the other side, there's like a separate queue to get stuff signed by Riku or to talk to her. I'm just saying I want to see more of your nice asses. I should. I should draw more asses. Yeah, just people in general. Because when I was at Riku's queue to like meet her, talk to her, like it was finally my turn after like what felt like almost an hour of having Americans talk behind me. Then was finally my turn. I talked to Riku. I like immediately said like, hey, like I gave her one of my little like DD heart emote stickers that I showed her at the beginning. These ones. And I was like, hey, I'm Aku, by the way. Immediately gets hit with the who? Which is totally fair, by the way. It's just always so funny to like do that at conventions where like, hey, I'm so and so. Because like some people will pretend that they know who you are. While others are just like a lot more, no, like a lot more genuine. And they're just like, who are you? I don't know. Which also, to be fair, like I barely chat Enrico's streams or Discords or whatever. But like, yeah, I said I'm Aku. She went, who? I showed her the fan art that I drew, for her just a bit ago. Wait, hang on, I can show that one too. This one. I showed her that fan art that I drew for a while ago, where she was also like lurking in my stream and stuff. So I figured, I assumed she would then recognize me, because like she was actually lurking in my stream while I was drawing that, man. But yeah, I showed her that fan art, and dude, she was so excited to meet me that I was actually shocked for a second. I did not cry, only at home. But like, she was so incredibly excited to see me. It was so cute. She like immediately held my hand and was like, no. And like, if I'm being serious and whatever. And we then like talked a bit. She signed a print for me. My goal to getting recognized, dude, it was so cute and nice and whatever. Like, not like parasocially. Like, I'm not like, oh my god, Rico knows who I am. But it's more like, you know, if you get recognized by like an inspiration of yours or like someone that you look up to, it's always just like very heartwarming, I guess. You also have a second fan art of her, right? Yes. That one is way older. Like, this fan art is from, when did I draw that? From February, actually. The other one is like years and years ago. Hang on. Yeah, the other one is from, what do you mean March 2025? No. May 2024. It's not actually been that long. But yeah, the Gyatariku. But yeah, it was like, I was so shocked that she was so excited to see me for a second. But yeah, we talked a little bit. She signed like some prints for me. I showed the prints and like all the merch and stuff that I got in just a second. Yeah, we yapped a little bit. She actually also told me to come back later for a sketch. At which point I was like internally fanboying so hard, because I was like, what do you mean come back for a sketch? Huh? Yeah, after that I was basically done for the day. You get a Blinstone hand drawn. Yeah, I'll show that in a second. I didn't know that though at the moment. But yeah, after that I just went back to Ein's booth and helped him out basically for the rest of the day. Actually, while I was helping out at Ein's booth, there were also two German artists that came by. Hang on, I need to look up Twitter for the names. I didn't write them down. Those were Midnight Blossom and Yoko. Yoko's Sketchbook on Twitter. Like two German artists. They were there because they thought that I was Ein. Which, yeah, actually on that topic real quick, it was so funny to see at Ein's booth when I was helping there, because Ein is a dude. That's important for context. When I was at Ein's booth, so many people assumed that I'm the artist. Because, you know, like, there's me and then there's Ein's mom. And just people assumed, okay, I'm the artist then. Whereas actually the years before that, I helped out other artists at their booths, but every single time I helped out other artists, they were women. Women artists, female artists. And when I helped out at those booths, for some reason, people assumed that I'm not the artist, actually. Like, people could just feel that I'm not the artist, but then a woman drew that. But at Ein's booth, people assumed that I'm the artist. I don't know what kind of, like, gender sniffer people have. Yeah, it's probably stereotypes. Also because, like, it's not like Ein draws the kind of stuff that I draw, which is like I guess in a sense it's like male gaze kind of stuff. Male gaze, like looking, not male gaze. Um, but I know some people just are able to tell. Yep, woman drew that. Yeah. But it was just funny to like notice that. Like at Eins booth, everyone assumed I'm the artist. And like the previous booths that I helped at, people knew that I'm not the artist. Because this was clearly drawn by a woman. Male case. But you know, it's also not like the thing that is being drawn. Because for example, I've helped Praline at her booths a couple of times, and Praline draws like a very healthy mix of men and women. Ein also draws a pretty healthy mix of men and women. It's not like that, you know, oh, artist only draws women, it's probably a guy. But like, people just feel it, they just sniff it, and they know. I don't know how they do that. But yeah, anyways, like there were two German artists who like came by, asked if I'm Ein. I said that I'm not Ein, I'm just another artist that's helping out. And they then asked me for my socials, which actually caught me off guard, because like didn't expect to have to do that. So like I showed them my socials, they kind of looked through my Twitter. Like right in front of the booth too. So like I got live reactions of two people that have never seen my art looking at my art. And one of them self-plugged, they asked for it, okay. It was just so funny to see how like one of them, like they both looked at my drawings, like they scrolled through it. I hope they were good reactions. They were really good reactions. Because they both just were like, oh. Like the more they scrolled, especially like a while ago, they like kept going, oh. And one of them went like, respectfully, of course. The other one just hits me with the, I'm looking very disrespectfully. It was just like such a funny reaction. I also go, oh, when I see your hat. God damn it. The funniest part too, though. Just like already like meta Dokomi. One of the artists draws like crayon PNG tubers. I've never seen her before. Like I followed them back right after. It was like they had cute art. I've never seen them before though. Like anything that they have drawn. I followed them. I recover after Dokomi. Yesterday was like the first day that I really like started watching a lot more Twitch again, trying to slowly get into socializing again. I open fucking Nami's right there above me. I open Nami's stream. She suddenly has exactly one of those crayon PNG tubers by that one artist that I randomly met at Dokomi. What the fuck are the chances of that? Midnight, yeah, I think it's Midnight Blossom, yeah. With the crayon PNG tubers. Like, I've never seen them before. Randomly meet her at Dokomi. And then right after Dokomi, as soon as I open Twitch, I see someone streaming with one of the PNG tuber models. Well, yeah. Just super funny coincidence. And yeah, other than that, I just like helped out at Einsburg for the rest of Saturday. At the very end, like I left a bit early just to get home, because Jesus Christ, getting home in my village, like where I live, is such ass. I just quickly dropped by Lita's meet and greet. It was fun. I already met her on Friday. Yeah, I already met her on Friday briefly, but got to talk to her for like 5 minutes before I had to run to catch my train. Time to get a crayon munshark. Maybe. It's a sign, yeah. Yeah, it's just like, I really gotta get an Airbnb or something for next year, because Jesus Christ. Dude, living in a German village is like, it's an experience. When like the last bus from your local city, from your local city, the last bus going to your village is at 8:30 p.m. Like, bro. I also missed that bus, by the way. Thank you for traveling with Deutsche Bahn. So you know that's like the other nice part. If you missed that bus, Good luck walking, it's 3 hours. Good luck cycling. That part of the city where the train station is, where you would leave your bike, is known to be incredibly dangerous and have a lot of stolen bikes. And my area doesn't have any fucking Ubers. Zero. Nada. And a taxi is going to bleed you dry. So of course I had to rely on my parents, which is always fun. Because I don't have my own car. But yeah, anyways, Saturday, other than that, was fun. Then Sunday, I was basically just finishing up things. I went around at the very beginning a bit more. By the way, there. Listen, I need to preface this. I am not addicted. There was a Cygames booth in the like quote unquote gaming hall. I forgot what they called. Hall 9. With like all the corporations. They had Uma Musume. They had those statues, or like figurines, I guess. Life size, I think. Basically. Like life size figurines there. They had another game by Cygames that didn't look too interesting to me. I only care about Uma Musume. And they had like a little booth where they sold like merchandise for Uma Musume. I actually didn't get anything. I didn't find any of it too interesting, not gonna lie. Also, like, if I would have wanted like merchandise of Uma Musume, I would have gone to the artist alley. I think, just like to directly support an artist. But yeah. Why not get the one-to-one Uma Musume figure? I don't want to imagine how much those cost. I'm fine. I'm broke. Yeah. No Uma cap? Uma what? I don't think so. Like most of the stuff, like I only briefly looked at the little sign of what they were selling in terms of merchandise. It was mostly keychains, stickers, I think. I think some plushies. Horse ear cap. I don't think they were selling something like that. I didn't see anything like it at least. But yeah, anyways. Sunday I went to Riku's again. Talked with Husbando again, Riku's husband. Old champ? Old champ? I'm gonna sound like a tourist. Is Riku's husband's name in the community Old Champ or Old Chum? Old Chum. Okay, because I've heard some people say Old Champ, some people say Old Chump, and he's told me Old Chum. Like, you know, even like the little, you forget about the D, just Old Chum. Not PogChamp. Then I talked with him again, then like briefly talked to Riku and got the Chatblin sketch. Hang on. Now I can show it probably. There. All of the stuff that I got there. And whatever you do, never leave the H out of his name. Fair. I can see why. But yeah, there's all of the stuff that I got there. I'm not showing anything forbidden, right? Nah, it should be fine. But yeah, that's all of the stuff. I didn't get the Chatblin and the OnlyFan plush. I've already had them. I just figured they would look good for the picture. Like I've already had them forever. Not the Chatblin. The OnlyFan on the top left actually has this butt cheek sign from like 2 years ago, I think. I have it somewhere on my Twitter. I don't think I have the picture anymore. But yeah, that's all of the stuff that I bought. It's surprisingly little because I'm fucking broke. But yeah, there I got those two the Rico prints. Only one of them is signed. The other one I bought on Friday when she left early. Got the. I wish I had like a little pointer for this scene. Like from going top right to top left to the Rico prints, the little Chatblin sketch. Brother Rico and Yoshi are as goated it is. Those are also the only big prints I got, purely because they don't have postcards. I primarily get postcards. Oh, ads. Oh, you could point with your model's horn. True, I kinda could. I kinda could. Do I have like a... Wait, while the ads are running, let me check. Do I have like a little pointer PNG that I could just like move around or something? Oh, wait. Wait. I got an idea. Hang on. Pointer? Add? Browse? You need a tiny hand. Wait. Downloads. Okay, going from top right to top left. The two Diadico prints. As I said, there's the signature. This one I got on Friday, so I didn't get it signed. I didn't feel like bringing the print back on Saturday because I don't have one of those like little tubes for like very big prints you have to roll. Because like A3 prints are so stupidly big that like you can't just put them in a backpack. Like it's best to just roll up into a poster tube, yeah. Which I don't have. So like I had to very carefully like wrap them around like a bottle that I had, and then like section it off within my backpack to make sure it like has as little bends and whatever as possible, which kind of worked. Well, I was really iffy about it, so I didn't want to risk it. Then there's the Chatman sketch that I got by Rico on Sunday, like when I dropped by again to just quickly say hi. That print, I'm not sure if you can see it. There's the signature. The little gauge. There's the signature right there. Wait, right there? No, there. I can't even see it myself. There's a signature by here, right there, by your Clash. This print, I got at the Puppetworks booth. I actually didn't know that Puppetworks was gonna have a booth this year. I just like randomly walked by it, had like the little Spider-Man pointing meme reaction to it. Saw Kim there and was like, okay, I'm getting something there. I'm gonna talk to Kim. Talked to Kim, was super chill. Asked him some stuff for another artist. And yeah, got that print. Right, real quick, this stuff in the bottom right here isn't for me. That stuff is by Kellogg's, who I showed earlier. It's for Praline. I have to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna get that to Praline now. Like when I can ever meet her again. But that stuff's like for Praline. So because as I said, Praline is Kellogg's. What's with the gauge? It's my pointer. What do you mean? I need to figure out how to get that to Praline. Because like Praline is Kellogg's new model mama. The model artist. He can't point straight. God damn it. So that's not for me. This one is by Hiro Senpai. It was one of the only non-sus one prints and the one that I liked the most. This one is by Dat Yoon or Yoon Yang. I'm still not entirely sure which one is the social media name and which one is the artist name. There we go. This one's by Nai, that one's by Medonberry. That one's by Yoon. Actually, speaking of Yoon, Uyu, Jesus. Sorry, I'm mixing up the names. That one's by Uyu Art, who I've also drawn before. I tried to meet her so many times. I went by her booth like 5 different times. She was never there. And like, I swear to God, I just kept getting the pings on her Discord server. Hey, A4s are sold out. The plushie is sold out. The keychains are sold out. Everything is sold out. I never fucking saw her at the booth. Were you in a booth, aka fort? Dude, her booth was so pretty, but yeah, it was built like a fort. Like with just like one of those small little like shooting holes. The stuff got so in there. Yeah, but like I kept getting the notifications on Discord, but I just can't. I never fucking saw her until Sunday. Until Sunday, I came there just in case. because I was on a different mission. I'll get to in just a second. I was on a different mission, walked past there, and I was like, wait, that looks like Uyu. Quickly walked up to her, asked her, yes, it was Uyu. Get one of the very last postcards. Like, there were only a couple of these, of Maki, and then one of her, with her entire gyat out. Which is pretty, don't get me wrong, but I wanted a slightly less sus postcard. Although I could have gotten that one and had her sign a cheek. No. I fumbled, I'm sorry. But anyways, that's by Kroko. Like, a lot of the stuff down here is random stuff that I got. Like, that's by Kroko, that's by Alex and so on. This one was by a viewer that randomly gave me like a little deck of cards to pull a card out of. Hang on, let me put my pointer away. There. That keychain or earpod case. The little cassette player is an actual functioning cassette player, if that's what you mean. And it has like a keychain thingamajiggy. But yeah, down there, the little Mamichi, I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if maybe someone else knows. I feel like that's drawn by Mew. By the same person that drew the Gremlin model. I think. I forgot to ask, actually. This one, I mean. Yeah, Rico's Booth also handed out like free V-cards, so I got that one from. I don't actually collect them, because I have no money. But I just figured I'd grab one. That's by Nai, that's Alex. The animator I talked about. Alex gave me that sticker too, which I absolutely adore. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but I need like the perfect place to put it. I think Mummy Chili has credits on it. When I checked, it did. Give me a second. Hey. Tried looking at it. I didn't see anything. I just feel like I recognize the style as Uyu's sketch style. Hold on. I'm getting it out. I'm whipping it out. That's the pooch there. Wait, is Death Chill 02 the artist? Isn't Death Chill 02 the person? No, that's just Chili. Yeah, that's what I figured. Hang on, let me take it out of sleeve. The back doesn't say anything. Otherwise, oh, Lita. Okay, oh my god, dude. Okay, at the very bottom of it, it says Series 2, number 02, and then Lita. But my dumbass read light every single time that I looked at it. And I thought, okay, that's like, yeah, just light version. I only now understood it says Lita, as in Winterkind Lita artist. The one that I said I was at her meet and greet. The glasses, please. No. No. I can read, I swear. But just every single time I looked, I just like glanced over it and thought, light. Yeah, light. Like light edition. Anyways. Yeah, okay, I can see it now as being Lita's. But like Lita and Mew have kind of similar sketching styles. Anyways, I got that one from Yoon's friend. I unfortunately forgot her name, bear with me. That's by Red Mary. I don't know why I'm suddenly starting to use the other way of pronouncing Marie. Anyways, that's actually a sticker, by the way. I think you can faintly see the outline where you can like peel it off as a sticker. Whoopsie. And then like business cards. Speaking of which, I need business cards because I had a major fuck up. Because I'm about to get into the roughest story. Oh my god. I'm about to get into the roughest story of Dokomi Sunday for me, mentally. After I was at Riku's to talk to the husband and to just like get the Chatman sketch. Good job with your business cards. I did not have any business cards. That's the issue. Bread card if you full becomes bread. No. But yeah, after I was there, I went to the Gamer Subs booth. Now I don't have my own picture of the Gamer Subs booth. I just yoinked this one from Twitter and blurred everyone's faces. They had their own Gamer Subs booth there, which I actually didn't know either. I went there because they were selling stuff there. Like on the right, you can kind of wait. I need my pointer again. Hang on, I removed the pointer. Do I have a different pointer? Oh, I have a better pointer. Okay, there. So right here, you can see they were selling Dokomi unique shaker cups. I think they were Dokomi unique because I've heard quite often that for conventions they have like limited edition shaker cups. Actually, Praline, who I mentioned a couple of times, has worked on a couple of shaker cups before, of which one, for example, was only at the Los Angeles convention a year ago or something like that. Like just convention limited ones that you could buy. They behind this guy and like back here, they have like little testing, like little samples that you can drink. They had a bunch of samples laying here that you could just pick up whenever you wanted. Macchiato spot there. They have like a lot of Gamer Subs art everywhere and stuff. They were also selling V cards actually. Again, I'm broke. And the little tubs, the flavor tubs. So like I immediately bought one of the fucking previously titty milk, nowadays called Schlatt milk. I don't know why they renamed it, because Schlatt milk is the double meaning of Schlatt milk instead of titty milk is devious. But yeah, I bought like one of those on Saturday already. But anyways, I went there on Sunday and just straight up asked them, hey, I love the stuff that you do. I want to work for you guys. Who the fuck do I talk to? I want to know. I basically went there and did the non-Karen, I want to talk to your manager. Talked to them a little bit, showed them my art. They then sent me straight up to the, what's his name? The Chief Partnership Officer. Yeah, at that point I was starting to kind of freak out. Yeah, they told me that like, you know, for anything like that, you need to go back to the creator panel, not at that Gamer Subs booth. So like I just said thank you, said goodbyes, and then instead of going to the Gamer Subs like creator panel, I went back to Riku's husband. Primarily because I didn't actually know where the Gamer Subs content panel was, but also because Riku's husband, I swear to God, Riku's husband is an actual angel on earth. He is so incredibly nice to talk to and like as a person. He like told me where the booth is. Told me exactly who I'm gonna be talking to. He somehow just knows all of that. He told me like who I was gonna be talking to at Gamer Subs booth there, or like at the creator panel, so to speak. He like impromptu helped me make business cards. Like he cut out with like thicker paper that they had there for like sketching, cut out like little impromptu business cards for me to at least write like my information on for some super scuffed business cards, but hey, at least something. And he actually gave me like this entire pep talk right at Riku's booth. And he is so nice, man. I appreciated that so much. It was so nice, man. But yeah, have me make like impromptu business cards. or like material to make business cards. I then went to Naichi's booth to yap again with Nai, Alex, and Joe. They also hyped me up a little bit while I was like actually writing on the business cards. Went to the Gamer Subs creator panel, and the chief partnership officer wasn't there. Yep. Or like he was probably in the back in like the VIP area. But I obviously wasn't going to get him called out to the front like an actual Karen. So I just talked to the subordinate instead. His subordinate was like, I think his name was Alex, I'm not entirely sure. Really buff American guy. Was also super chill to talk to, at least. I straight up just went there, asked around like who I need to talk to. If I can't talk to Monty, that's like the chief partnership officer. They were pointing me to the other guy. And I just went there and I immediately went, hey, I'm Aku, I'm an artist. I love you guys' stuff. I wanna work for you. I have drawn game like Shaker Cup art before. Take me. Okay, not in that way. You get what I mean. We talked for a little bit, and I ended up showing him like the stuff that I have drawn. Take me, cash. No, like I showed him a bunch of the stuff that I'd drawn before. I also showed him like this one. Hang on, there. I showed him like that I have drawn like the Gamer Subs Shaker Cup kind of art before. As like a mock-up. Showed him some of my other art, and he did say like, damn, that's exactly the kind of art that we want to have and to make. Gave him my super scuffed little my super scuffed business card. There was literally just like a thicker piece of paper with my name scribbled on it in my sick ass engineering handwriting. I did try to make it legible and stuff. I took my time to write well. It was just so funny to see me just whip out like this completely bare bones business card. So like they at least have like my name and my contact information, my website and all of that kind of stuff. But now I know that for next year I need business cards. Even if I don't have a booth, I need business cards, man. That's how businessmen rise. Yeah. You are, after all, a starving artist looking for a job. Yeah, right? Engineer of readable handwriting, does it truly exist? You know, like, it's readable. Somewhat, if you squint, yeah. Well, yeah. Anyways, like, I talked to them. Yeah, talked a bunch to them, gave them my business cards. Pissed off. Dude, unironically, the pep talk by, like, Nigel, Alex, and Riku's husband helped so fucking much. Because, like, as I said, I'm shy and introverted, actually. I'm just good at masking. But, like, I still have this thing where, like, the beginning of masking is very insecure. Where it's like, especially, you know, how do you even do that? Like, I just went there. Like, how do you even start? Because, like, what am I just supposed to say? Like, hey, I'm an artist. I want to work with you. Like, once I actually got into, like, explaining that I've drawn stuff like they want, and showed him my art, that's when, like, I was immediately confident. Because, like, I have confidence in my art and, like, in what I can provide to them. But it's like, how do you even start getting to that point? Like, I'm an artist, I draw. Or I guess I'm an illustrator. I'm technically a VTuber, but I don't have a VTuber model. That's like the worst part always, it's like the beginning. But unfortunately, that's like the part where a lot of people make the first and like strictest opinion of you. But yeah. You did so good, man. Why is this the roughest story? Because I was freaking out the entire time. But yeah. Anyways, I did all of that, networked my ass off. At the Gamer Subs content like creator panel. Speaking of which, speaking of Gamer Subs, use code AKU For nothing. I am not sponsored yet. I haven't heard back yet. I am huffing copium. It's just gonna take a while. Maybe eventually. If maybe that didn't help, I'll get their attention sooner or later. Watch me. Actually, on that topic, Schlatt milk is very good. Highly recommended. Also, use code AKU for vibes, yeah. Vad säger det så? Actually, on that topic, I did for the first time have the... What's it called again? Shy Lily's flavor. Where are my pictures? Blowhole Blast, which is actually also really good. Recommend. But yeah, I'm not actually sponsored yet. Use code AKU for vibes and fun. Doesn't actually bring you anything. Actually, supposedly, I know this might be fake news. I might be spreading misinformation, happily so. Supposedly, if you use a code before you even partnered, they can retroactively apply it. I've heard that somewhere. Might be completely wrong. I have no idea how that would even work, if it even registers. I've heard that somewhere though. But yeah. Wait, this meme getting out of. Oh, that one. God damn it, Ari. That is such a niche reference, man. Nile Nectar? I've actually never had that one before. I haven't had too many. Mostly just the ones that have like samplers. But I personally so far like Schlatt milk or the previous Tiddy milk the most, I think. It might honestly be tied with Blowhole Blast at this point. I really want Sakura Splash. I want to try that one too. I think I'd like that one. But yeah, anyways, enough shilling. I'm not sponsored yet. I'll shill more once I'm sponsored, okay? But yeah, anyways, I then helped out at 1 booth for the rest of the day again. Did they have to change the name of Tiddy Milk? Apparently, yes. It might be something with them having European warehouses now. I think I heard something like that, but obviously, you know, not verified or anything. Might be about that. I think. As I said, don't take any of this for like word. I think Schlatt talked about it on the Cyclothon by CDog VA, and that they are changing it back. I think. I'm not entirely sure anymore. But yeah, that's what I heard too. Okay, that's 2 people that heard something. But yeah. Crusade Raid also very good. I haven't had that one too. I also heard a lot of people say that Rain Hose flavor is good. But yeah. But yeah, anyways. I have dot ein for the rest of Sunday. I met a lot more artists. I did notice, dude, it is so hard to actually meet people at Dokomi unless you specifically make out like a meeting point or you know that someone is at a booth or something like that. Because like Odo, I straight up only saw at his meet and greet and at 1 booth. Rose, I only saw at her meet and greet or at 1 booth because I was there like helping out at 1 booth. There were so many people that I apparently just missed. Like, hang on, I absolutely blacked out for a second. You know, like at the beginning of the stream that I missed a couple of people like Coin, or Giorgio. So I just completely zoned out for a second there. Actually, I had that happen much worse on Sunday at the end. So it's kind of fitting that I'm right there in the story. I helped out until the rest of Sunday. Met a bunch of other artists like Cedar. I don't know how people are going to pronounce his name. Seter. Very well-known animator. Recently, I think, went kind of viral because of his animation of Yithari from Xenozone Zero. In like that Reze? that one Chainsaw Man character that's like in a pool with like her hands like like he kind of went viral for that just a while ago. And Rudu, Medo Rudu, like another artist, draws a lot of hot men, works for a lot of like games and stuff like visual novels. Con was like a ninja we didn't get to meet either, man. Yeah, I unfortunately like straight up didn't know. Like just there were just too many people to meet. That like at some point I couldn't really keep track of it. But yeah, and to be fair, I on Twitter only like briefly once tweeted like, "Hey, I'm gonna be helping out at Ein's booth or at Rose with Meet and Greet." And you know, if I tweet something like that, the amount of people that will see it is like double digit maybe at most. That's also why I only posted like the way that I look, only on Friday, only in my Discord server, and even then like without the face, cause nah. So like I figured people that would want to meet are probably in the Discord server, anyways. But yeah, I'll try to announce that more next year. I mean, maybe next year I'll get lucky and get a booth straight up. Hopefully, copium. Absolutely huffing copium there. I'd also need money by next year. But yeah, anyways. I met a bunch of other people at Ein's booth until Dokomi was over. We also actually, these banners in the back, we auctioned off. The Dark Magician and the NG. Like they had a silent auction, I think it's called, where like people just like write on the list how much they're willing to bet on it. And then at the end, like 5 p.m. on Sunday, we actually like loudly auctioned it off. Like people had to come to like pick it up. The NG I think was bought for like 80, 60? I can't remember. For like 60 euros. There was only one person for it there, so she immediately got it. Loud. Yeah, and that was the thing. Ein's voice by Sunday was cooked. Because like he has been talking like 3 days, like, you know, from morning to evening. So his voice was cooked by Sunday, so he asked me to do the auction. Because my voice was still pretty fine by Sunday. Like to auction off the Dark Magician girl, because there were quite a lot of people there for that. And the thing is, that's like, it's the most fucking ironic, but also funniest thing about like talking in front of groups of people. The more people there are, for me at least, it's easier. Asking an introverted guy to loudly shout, nah, listen. That's the best part. I am shy and introverted, but I can mask and dissociate. I have the ultimate superpowers when it comes to being an introvert. And I have literally played in theater before. I have completely without any issues at all acted on stage in front of over 100 people. 2 times actually. Like a school theater thingamajig, like close to my A levels. Like, dude, acting on stage and like completely embarrassing myself in front of like 150 people twice, no problem. Doing a fucking auction in front of like 8 people, dude, I was dying. Bro loves attention. I love making people laugh, or like entertaining people. So it's like the pleasure of entertaining people beats the like embarrassment of, not the embarrassment, but like the negative feeling of embarrassing myself. Also because like as I said, I can mask, I can dissociate, I know how to act and play things up so people know it's an act. Which removes the entire ego part of talking in front of people. So I actually have no issue at all, like, you know, talking in front of a lot of people, but in front of a few people, dude, I was dying. Like, straight up, the 8 people in front of me that were betting, auctioning for the little Dark Magician Girl banner on the right there. I was like, huh. I need like a solid minute to hype myself up. We did the auction then. Now I don't know how much of it was like me being able to. How much did you sell for? I'm gonna get to that in just a second. I'm not sure how much of it was me playing it up, because like I did. Okay, listen. I did try to play it up a bit more, do it a bit more theatrically. Firstly, because it just helped me cope, but also just like, taking my time to pause to look at, like, because in the beginning, like, everyone was betting on it. Like, there was a minimum bet increase of €5. We started like 80, I think. So it's like, you need a full-time hype man next to Dokomi. I would certainly appreciate it. But yeah, we started like 80 with like a minimum of €5 increase. And like in the beginning, it was like most of those 8 people like increasing the price, but at some point it switched to just being like a battle between 2 people. And like I did try to play it up a bit more, do it a bit more theatrically, pause in certain moments, look at the other person of the battle if they're going to increase or not. And I said, I'm not trying to take like credit too much for it. I don't know how much impact I had, but we got the auction price for the Dark Magician Girl banner from like 80, I think, euros up to 250. Stonks. Mega stonks. So yeah, I was really happy about that. Also, it was super wholesome. The guy that ended up getting the banner, like once it was like time for him to pay, he tried to pay with cards. And like when he was like taking out his card to put it to the card reader, dude, his hand was shaking so much. It was so cute. Like Ein also immediately noticed to like gently like touch his hand and like try to calm him down and everything. It was low-key adorable. But also totally understandable. I really hope it wasn't because of the way that I auctioned it off, actually. To imagine it was just like me making it, like hyping it up way too much. Made him absolutely shit himself. But yeah, anyways, it was actually hella fun. But yeah, after that, in like the last hour of Dokomi on Sunday, I was already noticing that I was starting to actually dissociate. Like, because of like how much I've been talking and like introducing myself to people and stuff. I was actually starting to get out of it by like the end of Sunday. Now he won't be able to eat for a month, but it'll be worth it. Dude, he actually made that joke. That was the worst, man. He actually made some kind of joke like that. I can't quite remember what he said though. Reminds me of the Storage Wars show. I get what you mean. But yeah, I tried to like theatrically play it up a bit like that, but yeah. His hand was shaking from the great mistake he made. Now, actually, from what I understood, he bought it together with his friends. Like, he did the auction, and like took the upfront payment, but somehow they're sharing it with like a friend. I don't quite know how. I didn't bother asking. None of my business. Maybe they have like a little club room or some shit like that. I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, that was basically Sunday of Dokomi. After that, like I typically for Sundays always try to organize like a hotspot with a bunch of the artists. Because Sunday is like the best day to just like do that kind of stuff. Because Dokomi ends earlier, it ends at 6 p.m. instead of 8 p.m. Because we're in Germany, fucking restaurants, most of them close at like 10 p.m. So like, if you try to go anywhere Saturday after the convention, it's kind of rough. That's why most people just go McDonald's, Burger King, which I fucking despise. But like for Sundays, I always try to organize like the last couple of years to go to Hotpot. There's like a Hotpot restaurant called, bear with me, it's spelled that, which I always thought, hey, it sounds like Zhao from Genshin. It's spelled like Zhao from Genshin, so it's probably Zhao Long Khan. Apparently, it's pronounced Shu Long Khan. or something like that. They now have like a pronunciation thing on the website, and apparently it's Sho or Shu Long Khan. Really good hotpot place, by the way. Where you can go with like groups of 8 or 16 even. They have like 8 people table. Two of them next to each other. Shu Long Khan. Hey. Burger King kind of nice though when you crave the slop. Yeah, but the issue is every fucking weeb in Dokomi is going there once they notice they can't get a restaurant place. So it's absolutely crowded. I have to imagine it is. But yeah, I always organize like hotpots at that restaurant. This year it just didn't work out. There were just too few artists and stuff, especially like from the people that I'm more closely associated with. A lot of people I asked like either had issues in some sense, like Ein had stomach issues or has stomach issues still, so he didn't go out to eat on Sunday. And I don't think hotpot would be good for that anyways. If you take away and sit in the street, what do you mean? That's convention feeling? Nah. But restaurant is so nice, man. But yeah. Yeah, then like most of my closer friends just didn't go. What else? Yeah, like Rose, for example, too. Rose was only there on Saturday, because Sunday would have been too much for her, probably. So I ended up not being able to range hotpot. I just left the convention by myself, dropped by like a bunch of places again. Like I said bye to Lesh, I said bye to Yoshi, said bye to Oldchamp, Riku's husband, and then just dipped, took the train to Little Tokyo, and just like looked up ramen place in Düsseldorf. Because I actually have only had ramen once, and I figured, hey, ramen sounds like the perfect thing for me to just be an absolute loner and get by myself. Like the only other time that I've had ramen, like actual ramen, not like instant ramen, of course, was for Christmas. Like after a Christmas market in Aachen. So I figured, hey, I'm in Little Tokyo. I might as well have like a authentic ramen experience. I went to a restaurant called My Noodle House, which was highly recommended. It slapped. I got like wait, I have a picture for that. I got miso ramen special. Which is miso ramen. Duh. Like it's ramen with what I understand miso is fermented bean paste, right? There's bean sprouts and pork belly. The pork belly also a tiny detail, but I absolutely love that. I'm not one of those like texture nuts, but they cut up the pork belly in 2 different ways. Like there's hang on, I need my pointer. The pointer's even more fitting now. They had like a couple of very large cuts and then a bunch of very, very small cuts. Like they were just kind of hidden in the soup, so to speak. Which was just like really nice. I think it was 16 euros. And dude, it was nice. It was just nice. I have 0 complaints. For me, it could have been spicier because I have like a very high spice resistance. There was a guy, like a middle-aged guy, sitting right here to my right, who was struggling though. But he was struggling, but he finished it all, so it can't have been that bad. 16 the fuck. I mean, you know, it's not something that you would get every single day. But for like the one time in the city authentic experience, also like I was sitting at the counter, as you can see. So like I could straight up just like watch them cook. Was this in Tokyo Ramen? No. The place was literally called just My Noodle House. It's in Middle Tokyo, right in or next to Oststraße. So like it's super easy to get there. I was super lucky in that like I went there by myself, so I just got like a place at the counter, like all by myself. If you're there with a group, it's probably a lot rougher. Although they were pretty quick. Also, like, even though it's, you know, the convention was closing, everyone was going out to eat. Like I immediately got a seat right here, so I was super happy about that. But it was really good, honestly. I have zero complaints, nothing else to say. It was just good. Yeah, let me check real quick. Did I? Yeah, I actually showed off everything. Yeah. Food with entertainment. Yeah. Next time try katsudon and soba. I'll try to keep that in mind. I really need to try, what's it called? Tonkatsu? Like pork cutlets? Breaded pork cutlet or whatever. Because they were also making that right in front of me, and I was like, damn, man, I want that. Give me. I didn't see it on the menu though. And like, I probably wouldn't have taken it anyways, because, thingamajiggy. I really wanted some kind of ramen. Fish one dry tempura too. There's so much food that I need to try. Unfortunately, I'm broke. Actually, on that topic, I think, from what I calculate, I think I spent only quote unquote, by the way, I think I only spent 250 euros at Dokomi. That is my transportation costs and all of this stuff. Obviously, like, you know, basically everything at the bottom I got gifted. I'm pretty sure Uyu also gifted me her postcard, even though I like 4 times asked if she's sure or not. Because I drew her fan art, she said. These sketches obviously also gifted, I didn't bribe her. I'm not sure if Hiro let me pay him either. Same with Yun, same with Nai, same with Meryl. I think I got all of my postcards for free now that I think about it. God damn it. But at 250 for like everything. Plus transport. And then to be fair, I was deliberately trying to save money because I'm low-key going broke at this rate. I haven't been paid yet by my mini job for the first month that I worked. Hello Shinoki, by the way. Mi bombo German the blues. Yeah, to be fair, that is keeping in mind. And now bear with me, I know there's going to be an uproar. The entire 3 days at Dokomi, I didn't eat anything. I'm being for real. I don't know what is wrong with Dokomi, but when I'm at Dokomi helping at the booth, I have zero hunger. Zero. Nada. Like, I remember last year too, I would go to Dokomi, like I would eat before Dokomi, but then too just like a Knoppers or something like that. Like a little energy bar equivalent amount of food. I would go to Dokomi and just not eat. Like I would maybe have like a tiny bite of like some kind of sweet that I have with me, and that's it. I wouldn't eat until I get back home in the very evening. So I was basically fasting unintentionally. Understandable. See, Shinoki knows what I mean. Cause like I don't know, if you just don't eat, and if you're not like underweight, it's you just kind of feel fine until at the very end of the day. That's when it fucking hits you. Like I remember the last year's too. The last year I did manage to arrange like restaurant trips every single day, and then like I would, on the way to the restaurant, I would be grumpy as fuck. As soon as we get food, I'm like, the light returns in my eyes. I'm like glowing up as soon as we get into the restaurant. So maybe it's still not a good thing for me to do. But yeah, anyways, like that's without buying any food there, which I have to imagine it costs quite a lot to get food at Dokomi. And that's the 250 for Dokomi without the tickets actually. Because like I got a helper ticket from Ein for $100, I think, approximately. I did because there was like all on short because I was all on short term, well on short nerd It was all on short notice. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you. All on short notice. I did actually have my own tickets for Friday and Sunday. I didn't get one for Saturday because dumbass me bought tickets way too late. So I think I basically wasted 100 euros worth of tickets essentially. By buying it for myself first and then the Apple ticket. Look at him figure it out. Shall we? But yeah, so overall for me it was 450. If I didn't fumble with like basically having double tickets, it would have been 350. I didn't get around to like reselling the tickets because that's an option through Dokomi officially, I think. Because I was holding on to a ticket because I did hear some people consider going, but they didn't have a ticket. Like for example, Urobo was thinking of maybe staying and then going on Sunday too, but he like didn't have a place to stay. So like I did offer him, hey, if he finds like an Airbnb or like someone's couch to sleep on, I'll just give him a Sunday ticket. Never got around to that. But yeah, always take emergency food in your pocket. I did have like chocolate coffee beans with me. And I did bring like smoked sausage. I sound so German. I brought like smoked salami sausages for like Saturday and Sunday, but never actually ended up buying. Never ended up actually eating them or opening them. Hello, Vincent. I didn't eat the whole 24 hours, so was the extra one brownie. Yeah, fair. If I catch you next year, I will bring you food from a stand against your will. I'll gladly take any fruit. But yeah. Anyways. But why you lied? But why you lied to be? Wait, hang on. But why you lied to be? You were not at Einstein when I was there. Okay, now it makes a shoe. There we go. I was at Ein's booth, but not all the time. I was at Ein's booth once I was done with my own missions, which was most of Friday to be fair. The beginning of Saturday and the beginning of Sunday. But like especially, you know, towards the later half of the day, so I was always at Ein's booth, pretty much. I don't know how I missed you, man. I actually insane unluck to not meet you so. Well, anyways, the German is strong in you. I know. Oh, in me. I thought you meant me. Goddammit. Take entire restroom with you next time. I wish. But yeah. Anyways, let me look at my notes again. Right, I forgot that story. Hang on. Right, also just to get that out of the way, because I said I left early on Saturday, because before anyone thinks anything, no, I did not get invited to a VTuber orgy. I'm sorry to disappoint, or you're welcome, I think. You know, since VTuber orgies were like quite a topic on Twitter and X a while ago, I did not get invited. I am not running around in those circles. Yeah. You could have been undercover for us. Dude, even if I would have gotten invited, I would have not gone. What is wrong with you? You would not know. Ah, that's the VTuber orgy slash. I appreciate the compliment, but dude, I'm good. Real shit or just name? There have been reports of VTuber orgies at past conventions, yes. That has been a topic on Twitter a while ago. Yeah, that's why I made that joke, man. You would, because I would, we all in chat would. No. Nah. But what about the banana mango vape? What? Uh, the me was lied to me, not lied to me. Ah, okay. Got it. Anyways, yeah, there was another story. So when I was at Ein's booth, as I said, a lot of people thought that I was Ein. Or like, if they didn't know Ein, which by the way is also, it just clicked in my brain. There were so many people that thought that I'm Ein. Like, hang on. This cutie little patootie. The best part is Ein so frequently streams with a webcam. Like, he has done so numerous times on his streams over the last couple of months at this point. So like, anyone that watches Ein knows what Ein looks like. But somehow a lot of people still thought that I'm Ein somehow. I don't look that close to Ein, I think. I think he's mostly known for his Twitter appearance or other socials. That's fair point. Although he does also like all the time for Dokomi post like himself, kind of like what I just showed, but with just the eyes or something blurred. Like in his Twitter post, you can even see like his hair and everything. But yeah, anyways, even outside of that, a lot of people assumed that I'm Ein. And dude, I don't remember which day that was on, but I was there with Ein's mom, helping them out with the booth. Ein was gone. I think it might have been the day when Ein was at the Wacom booth or talking, like networking, kind of what I did with Gamersubs, but with a different company. Someone comes up to the booth, and it's like, they just look at like the art behind me on the banners. Then they look at me and they hit me with the, so I have a weird question for you. And I'm just like already just standing there internally. I'm doing like that one I show speed meme with like the little eyes closed smile trying to hold back. Because you just know if someone hits you with the I have a weird question for you, it's going to be either a completely normal question or most of the time it's just going to be a question that you don't even know how to answer. Anyways, they then proceed to ask me, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you like yaoi? And like I just like had this I did like a little head twirl kind of what? And just went, well, the question makes sense, fine. I immediately went, hey, I'm not the artist. I don't mind. I just don't personally consume it. And dude, I said like, hey, I don't personally consume it. I don't mind it. I'm also not the artist, by the way. He still proceeded to yap my ear off for the next like 3 minutes about how I have to watch Heated Rivalry. Heated Rivalry is the best yaoi in the world. I need to watch Heated Rivalry. Everyone needs to watch Heated Rivalry. He is there spreading the propaganda of Heated Rivalry. He is so sorry, but he just has to have everyone know that that everyone should watch Heated Rivalry. That's considered yaoi, is it not? I have not looked at it at all. I just know it's called Heated Rivalry and that he considers it yaoi and wants everyone to watch it. I don't know what Heated Rivalry is. I only briefly heard on TikTok it's ice skating? Men? I think. I don't know. Well, will you go watch Heated Rivalry? I guess I have to now, man. I don't know. Ice hockey. Oh. Hockey. Okay. I thought it was ice skate. I mean, okay, it makes. Doesn't make more sense for yaoi. Oh. But yeah, anyways. He just dipped afterwards. He didn't buy anything. He was just there to like yap my ear off for like 3 to 5 minutes about Heated Rivalry. Everyone needs to watch Heated Rivalry. You too, viewer, need to watch Heated Rivalry. Yeah, I think that was like the weirdest interaction I've had at Dokomi so far. I think in total even. Which I think it's more to like show how tame Dokomi is. Or like most of the people at Dokomi. That's not to say that there aren't a lot of people going to Dokomi that don't look like the cliche of weeps. There were a couple. But you know, most people at Dokomi are still chill. Even like the weirdest cases are kind of just like whatever. Which is I'm very glad about that. There were also a lot of furries this year, I noticed. Surprising amount of furries. Like full on fursuit furries. I feel like it was more than last year. Or the last years, plural. Maybe it was also just like me paying more attention to it now that I'm trying to pander to the furries. Anyways, did you try to make connection to them? I should have. That was the one missing piece to my networking. I shouldn't have bothered talking to gamer subs or the VTubers and artists. I should have just talked to the furries. Man, missed opportunity, exactly. And this weather too. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Dude, the weather was brutal. It was so hot. Like it was starting to get okayish on Sunday, but even Saturday, like by Saturday, I was just wearing like a shirt and like t-shirt, and shorts. I was still sweating, man. It was bad. The furries must have sweat their butt off in the heat. Yeah, as I said, apparently or supposedly there were quite a lot of people that got carried out on stretchers from like heat stroke and stuff. Her little furries are fang high pay devs. Yeah, I heard that as well. Supposedly, there is a higher link or like a decently notable correlation between furries and government workers. That like a lot of furries work in high positions in government. Supposedly, I don't know if that's how true that is, but I believe it of how much money some of them have. But yeah. Anyone that wore the suits or combat suits, bless the souls. Yeah, definitely. There was also one person at one point. I saw them walk past while I was waiting. I think at the Riku booth. That was just there in full on knight armor, like full on, just plate armor, plate knight armor. I don't know what the exact term is. Dude, I have to imagine if you wear something like that, you're just cooking if you go into the sun.
Comfy.
Jordan, thank you for the sub, for the 9-month sub on an 8-month streak. Congrats on the baby. Thank you. Much appreciated. Enjoy the emotes. Also, let me quickly snooze the ads. I wanna ads. Sadness lore. Yeah, don't worry about it. The VOD on Twitch is gonna be there anyways. I'm also gonna upload it to the YouTube VOD channel for like longevity's sake. Yeah, what will you name the baby? Right, 9 months. Sure done. Twitch sub baby. You get to name it. Yeah. Anyways, what else? The guy with the heat rivalry. Right, I guess for anyone that's like interested in drama, I didn't personally notice much. There were a few people that actually, like a few people with their booths that got their money stolen actually. Which has been a thing in the years before. I don't know how it used to be in the years prior, but apparently this time around there have been, I think I've heard of at least 2 or 3 artists where they got their money stolen on Sunday, specifically when the convention was closing. I heard 2 people say, heard about that one guy, yeah. I've heard 2 people say, or like reports of 2 people where on Sunday, when they were already closing down the convention, that as the people with the booths were already like deconstructing the booth, that apparently they got the money stolen. Like with one guy specifically, Brother Ming, I think his name is. He was deconstructing his booth with like, the convention is basically already closed. People are being let outside or not being let in anymore. like he put his money pouch, whatever, on the table while he was like turning around to deconstruct the stuff behind him because it was uncomfortable. And like as soon as he turned back around, the money's gone. And I heard that from like some other person too, having happened to them, which they're like apparently just people are lingering around at the end to just like snatch money from the artists that are deconstructing their booth. Because then they can just dip out. Dokomi does not have any cameras, not any security cameras at least, to keep track of like who's going in and out. And Dokomi, there were security guards at all of the halls, and like they closed a lot of doors, but they were only making sure that people don't come in unless an exhibitor after a certain point, like a bit before 6 even, I think. But they weren't really trying too hard to get people to move. That's where the other drama was happening that I heard about. Apparently, and I have not seen it myself, I've just heard someone else describe it. Some dude in Hall 10 was throwing spaghetti at Italian artists. And like jokingly, quote unquote, snapping spaghetti in half in front of them, cause haha. That's like the less obscene stuff. Apparently they were also just like being a menace, as in like they were filming, taking pictures unsolicited. They were lingering around, like just blocking the booths but not actually buying anything. Making a lot of weird comments, listening in on conversations, like following people around there, like some of the artists, and then just like standing behind them, listening into what they're talking about without actually participating or anything. Apparently they're notorious for it. I've heard reports of like them being banned in like about 30 different communities at this point. I don't know. I don't think the mods, the helpers and stuff of those booths ever reported them to security. Because I, not blaming them at all, don't get me wrong, but I do think you can just talk to security, especially Hall 10. The creator hall had a lot of security, both at the entrances but also inside, that you could have just told, hey, this is a visitor, they're annoying us, they're not part of us, because they have apparently pretended to be a helper, but if you're a helper, you have your own helper ticket. Or like the helper ticket even says exhibitor ticket on it. So they could have just like checked for the exhibitor ticket. If he's not, he gets let outside because he's bothering the artist. I don't know why that didn't happen. If maybe the security wasn't doing their work or whatever, but yeah. Hang on, let me check our messages. Stream was lagging on my end. I was waiting for 2 minutes for some blood in your reaction. I'm so sorry. I'll look into it after stream. I hope whoever did that gets testicular cancer. Oh, okay. The back checks were something else. Yeah, for me, they just like... Okay, to be fair, I also had exhibitor entrance, but they barely check my bags. I've read that theft is occurring proportionally more on Sunday at the con, so shitty, man. Yeah, that's, to be fair, whoever is doing that kind of shit is decently smart, because a lot of artists still haven't learned that, like, you should, from day to day, you need to set aside your money. Like, keep it at your Airbnb or your hotel or something like that, because there's been at least one case that I know of an artist that I know where they got all of their money of all 3 days stolen on Sunday. So they ended Dokomi without any money at all, because it all got stolen on Sunday at the end, which is like, dude, what the fuck? Hello. Well, no, what is this? I'm having story time, and I'm just I'm just keeping your booth open as like a little backdrop while I'm yapping. Hello, Ian. Ian, by the way, the artist that I talked about, that I helped at their booth. Let me show there. That's the little cutie patootie that I helped out. I saw my booth and was ready to be roasted. Nah. Quite the opposite. You're being a beautiful backdrop. Did you know Aku's really handsome, guys? You know, Ein lies a lot. Ads, them. Of course, ads right now. I swear to God. Sorry about the ads. I just snoozed them, so I can't snooze them again. But yeah, anyways. I would never lie. Ein. Yeah, right. Ein doesn't lie. He just likes to sweet talk reality. I am not hot. Out of the two of us, he's the hotter bisexual. Well, he is the hot bisexual. Hotter bisexual implies that I'm bisexual. I'm not, unfortunately. Anyways, Aku was very hot at Dokomi. I was super hot on Friday. I was sweating my ass off, man. I wore like the worst outfit possible on Friday. Anyways, unfortunately, being bisexual is like you have double the dating pool, man. Trust guys, his butt is nicer than mine. I did not see your butt, so I can't comment on this. So I'll just take the compliment. Double the problems, bro. Fair. Actually fair. Anyways. Arko, how often did he touch your ass? 0. He touched my thigh a couple of times, but I don't mind that. Like I dislike physical touch if it's by people that I'm not comfortable around. But like once I'm comfortable with someone, it's pretty fine. Not like that, man. Exactly, because I don't have any. Goddamn. Self-burn. But yeah. Where were we? Right, that one dude that like was throwing spaghetti at Italian artists. Yeah. As I said, I only heard in passing like what was going on there. But apparently it was like harassing artists, specifically his favorite Oshi Italian artist in the Hall 10, in the creator hall. I didn't see any of that. But yeah, also, there was something about that apparently a box of his spaghetti was found in one of the trains. As I said, I have no fucking clue what was going on over there. I heard that in passing, was just like, what the hell are they doing over there? And then just didn't pay any more attention to it. Well, anyways, hello Impact. Impact, by the way, I am Mino Impact, right? That was the Twitch name. I said I met them at Dokomi. Yeah. The one that came in an Orobo cosplay on Saturday. I didn't recognize the cosplay of you and your friend on Sunday, unfortunately. But yeah, whatever. Aku, you missing Saturday dinner was your biggest fumble. We talked about the situation for like 2 hours. You did? Nah, talking about that situation for 2 hours, I'm good. But yeah, anyways. Sorry, go. Nah, you're fine. I think that is basically it for Dokomi, though. I mean, to be fair, I've been talking about Dokomi for 2 hours, I'm seeing right now. Overall, I think this was tied for like the best Dokomi. Even though before Dokomi, like the last stream as well, like last Sunday, said that like I think it's going to be the worst Dokomi, I actually made it the best one for myself. Like, I really underestimated how good I am at socializing, networking, and making things fun for myself. But also, to be fair, the fact that I could help out Ein at his booth and just like chill at Ein's booth in a sense was so incredibly helpful. Because like I'm just not that interested in too much anime stuff. That like I would have probably not have anything to do otherwise. And like I mean, I personally just love helping at booths. It's super fun to just like, you know, sell stuff talk to customers and stuff like that. At this point, I think I'm pretty much used to it. Because, like, also, it is very chill. Because it's basically just, like, very simple customer service. Most of the people that are there because they're into art or into anime or something like that. So you know that they're going to be chill. Or they have, like, similar interests, which always, or, like, immediately makes it a lot more easygoing to be there, to sell stuff, to talk to people. I was Tanjiro, Demon Slayer, and sis was Jinchi. Oh, that was your sis. Okay, I almost said your girlfriend, but I wasn't sure. That would have been awkward. But yeah, the cosplays look nice, by the way. I forgot to comment on that. Arco the businessman. I mean, I'm not sponsored yet. Gamer subs get in contact with me. I swear to God. But yeah, nah, it was just really fun to network. I haven't really used Dokomi in the past for networking and like really getting to know people, talk to them too much. It was more of like a meeting people, and that's kind of it the last years. Or hanging out with closer friends. But like, I think the fact that I didn't have closer friends this time around made me go out and interact more in a sense. Which now I know how fun that is. So I'm definitely going next year again. Maybe like with a booth. Ideally, if I get super lucky, I'll have a booth next year and money to pay for the booth. I am broke at this point. Well, not broke, but I need to figure out my money. I still have not been paid by my mini job. They're still deciphering your handwriting. Nah, that's vile, man. I'm gonna be thinking about that tonight. God damn. Yeah, that's clear. We're not the first time that happened, and how should you know? The mouse. Nah, you're fine. You're fine. That was just perfect roast, man. Send them follow-up email. Yeah, right. If I write an email, there's no handwriting. I've messaged them before. I've also tried to like get their attention on like the little posts when they're looking for artists, and didn't work out yet. It'll work out eventually. For now, you can use code AKU for fun. It doesn't actually do anything. You can use it anywhere too. It doesn't matter where. Just write code AKU. Anyways. Was amazing being able to meet you. Thanks for the stickers, and you decided on place to put them. No, thank you for meeting me. It was really nice to get to know you. It was also funny how long we spoke in English for until I just suddenly went, "You speak German, don't you?" You mean Aku 10? Nah, just Aku. Use code Aku, it will work eventually. Exactly! Just use code Aku. Anywhere. At some point it'll work. There's always a 10 afterwards? No, it isn't, actually. At least with gamer subs. With a lot of other sponsors and stuff, yeah. But with gamer subs, there isn't most of the time, actually. I mean, there's like fucking. You can also have multiple codes. Like, Yoclash has her code Yochi, I think. But also Oni fan? And not pregnant, or something like that. Unless I'm tripping, Yoclash has a code that is not pregnant or something like that. Or something about not being pregnant. Anyways. I wonder how chaotic next year will be because Tote Hosen have their farewell concert on the same weekend. Oh no. I didn't know about that. Hotel situation would be crazy. Yeah, I've already heard that, like, apparently the hotels are pretty expensive because the date is already announced for July next year. I can't remember which dates exactly in July. But yeah, if this. I mean, honestly, we also survived Dokomi while the soccer, football, whatever, European football, not football, while those were happening in Düsseldorf as well. So I don't think it's gonna be too bad. At some point, they'll be like, who's this archivate people are using as a code? Imagine. That's how I get their attention. People are just spamming my name as a code that doesn't actually work. Anyways. I used Aqua at my bakery and got 50% discount on my Schwarzbäderbrot. I used code Aqua when my Windows got activated. The fuck? Yeah. Dokomi just called my brain to English, even around the people I know are German, just in case no Germans are around. That's fair, honestly. I think I also still talked with most people in English. Like, I think with like Yoklash and Kim, I did talk in German. I think with Rosie, I spoke in English, even though we're both German. Yeah, fair. I can't remember if I talked to Uyu in English or German. I only spoke to Uyu for like 2 minutes. I wish I talked to her a bit more. Anyways. July will melt everyone, probably. Unless we get lucky and we have like storms right around there. It's going to be rough, man. The bigger problem is that it is in the summer vacation time, TBH. Yeah, I think basically everything is just right then. Tote Hosen farewell concert. Fucking the hottest time. Summer break in Germany. But yeah. Maki and a Prego shadow sticker? I tried so hard to convince her not to. What? I didn't find her booth. I haven't been to a booth, so I didn't see any of that. Huh? Yeah. They couldn't have picked a worse date, is what I'm hearing. Basically, yeah. Although to be fair, it's not like they probably have much of a choice. It's probably, with how many conventions there are in Düsseldorf at that convention center, they probably just take whichever one is available. So yeah, I don't think you can really blame Dokomi. There's probably more like organization stuff behind the doors. Well, whatever. Her booth was right next to Uyu. Oh. God damn it. I was probably paying too much attention to Uyu's booth to notice hers. But yeah, anyways. I think that's basically it for Dokomi. Do you have any food picture? Gamer subs, blah. Right, by the way, the little Bern stickers at the top, Rose handed out most of them. Lemao. I still have more than half of mine. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I might I can't just hide them around like Easter eggs, right? That would just be like, littering, leaving trash around. I can't do that. But yeah, this thing is so cursed, man. I'm so sorry. It's what's like a good comparison? It's like this thing that is absolutely cursed, but it's mine now and I can't get rid of it. I need to read more books. I would probably come up with a good example. But yeah, anyways. Just train a bit more and go for a shirtless cosplay. The temps will be fine then. Of course, sure. Surely. I mean, if I don't get fucking sick again, and I can continue exercising at my current speed, maybe. Maybe. Yeah. We all get buffed for next year to be shirtless. Who had the same thought? Impact. Impact wrote that like a minute earlier. 2 bracers. Well, yeah. Anyways, I think that's basically it for Dokomi. I'm gonna try to get a booth. I don't know why I just randomly thought of booth back when I said that. I'm gonna try to get a booth to sell art and stuff at next year. Even if I don't get lucky, I will still try my absolute best to go there as a visitor. Cause like I really I mean, ideally I'll go there as a helper. Cause like I really enjoy helping out at people at people. I really enjoy helping out at people's booths. Like, unironically, it's just I don't know why it's just fun for me in a weird way. But I'll try to go there as a helper again to someone or whatever. This guy was a huge help, guys. Dude, but you and your mom are such a power duo. I felt like you didn't need my help most of the time. Except for like with English. Whenever you were leaving. But yeah. He's nice to look at and works like, God damn it. You're flattering me. I'm blushing, man. I would to go to more conventions if I had someone to help, I guess. Because it like, you know, it gives you a place to go back to fall back to in a sense. But also it just gives you like a bit of a purpose whenever you don't know what to do. And as I said, like I'm not too much of a weep. Like Hall 1 and stuff, like the vendor hall, and like a lot of the other halls like fashion and crafting just aren't really for me. For me it's more about like meeting artists and people and like getting to know people. As of this year around networking too, because networking is actually hella fun, I notice. But it gives you like a thing to do in the off time. And like to feel like you did something very productive as well. So yeah, I'm gonna try to go as with my own booth next year, if not my own booth, then as a helper to someone ideally. And if not that, then at least like a helper, I guess. But yeah. I'm on my way. God damn it. We did need you, Mama, and I, a team, but she's been very happy to have you around. Oh. Well, I'm glad I was of help. And if you need help again next year, let me know. I'd gladly help. And I was, of course, also very happy. Dude, I was so glad to see you and like hang out with you a bit more. Because I felt like the year before that, I was just like dipping in and out, and that's it. Yeah. Arko and I will make out for $20 one kiss. If we 50-50 share the money, deal. I $20 is $20, so what can I say? Arko still owes me a forehead kiss. Do I? Since when? Huh? Did I promise something? Did past Arko promise some things again he shouldn't have? I made you some... Right. Fair. 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 Here's $1,000. Give me. Well, yeah. I'm just doing it for the enjoy. God damn it. Well, yeah. Anyways, gonna try going as a booth. Why do I keep saying that? As like a boothing? I'll try to table at Dokomi next year. I think that's English, somewhat, maybe. If not that, as a helper. But I'll definitely try to come next year. Because it was really fun, honestly. Especially networking and stuff like that. So yeah.